here at WNYU. 89.1, I think, FM. This is Clean.
Just
Perfect. We are Partygirl. Up next is our song Fine, 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 our debut single from our upcoming project, I'm So Charming, I Forgot Who I Was.
Make
this is death and that is all he says I'm too vulgar for his taste. I still make his own records. This black moon of New Jersey. The devil's found me bathing in earth. Remember what you did to me. When he comes back, see me. lights are flashing tonight. One staring time, and I make out so fine. Dark pale red light. It's good to know undesirable, I said. I wanted to say. Your words reek of epithets like your breath on my neck as I tasted your lips. I'm rejected, I'm rejected. I hate the ghost of silhouettes anyway. The cryptic imagery, it's your ache. It's calling my name. It's good to know I'm desirable, I said. You push me away. say. We're Partygirl. Thank you.
Hey, I'm J-Mac. You're listening to WNYU 89.1 FM. I'm here with Partygirl.
Woo!
Yay.
Could you guys all introduce yourselves and say what you do in the band?
Yeah, I can start. I'm Pagona. I'm the front person, so I sing, I play rhythm guitar and keyboards.
Hey, I'm Jenna Love. I play saxophone.
I'm Jonathan Ashley, and I play drums.
I'm Andrew Jordan, and I play bass.
I'm Fran Pastora, and I play lead guitar.
I'm Claire Jenkins, and I play violin.
So you guys just played a couple songs off of your upcoming album, I'm So Charming, I Forgot Who I Was. What was the writing process like for this album?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun and a long process. I start writing most of the songs and get some building blocks, get some stories, get some references and ideas. I started with some of these songs. I think one of them when I was 16 years old, so it's a very long process. Perfectionist, as you just witnessed during this radio session. And then it took me some time to meet the right people to bring them to life. And once we all kind of got in a room together, we can work through all the themes and the meaning, and we'll basically put down all the chords along with the lyrics they're in a chart that we have, and we put them on a whiteboard, and we just try to run through the ideas, make edits as we go, and collaborate as much as possible when it comes to the individual parts and where we can take things up a notch or sometimes do less, which is also sometimes necessary in this band. And it's really great. Fran produced the whole record, and the songs would be nothing without me telling her my deepest, darkest secrets. And
I made her cry once.
it's true. She did.
It was for the song. I promise.
It's okay. It was for the song.
It was for the song.
And it was very effective, I think.
Sounds super sad.
Yeah, and then it's exciting because on the record, we have the opportunity for overdubs too, which we don't get to do live. So we can kind of think through those things and demo them and see if it works. Like we have Claire dubbed 5 times at most. Pretty cool stuff. So
Cool.
it's a long process, though. Takes a long time.
Is the songwriting process typically like lethargic for you?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if I would say it's lethargic, but it does. I think we're dealing with this right now. We're trying to work on some new stuff. I try to be so intentional and make sure like every note and change and hit is like serving the argument of the song, which does take a lot of time and frustration. And also, when you get it right, it's the best thing in the whole world. Like the last song we just played, like I said, that's an older song, and we rewrote it together as a group and rearranged it. And I remember the first time we played it like that, and I was like, yeah, that's what it should have been all along. And that is what it is now. And that's really beautiful, even though it just takes years. And that's okay. I think it's tough in today's like music economy. You're expected to be putting out music constantly as a product, and that's really hard, I think, when you're trying to make things really
super intentional.
yeah, super purposeful, and you never know when that idea is going to hit you, you know? So at times, yeah, but mostly just because I want things to come to me now, and that's not how it works all the time, you know?
Cool. You were just talking about how typical music industry now is like just pump music out. But listening, you guys are not typical to what's happening right now. You're typical to like a million different things that are happening, I feel like, which is so sick.
Cool. Thank you.
What are your current influences?
Yeah, I think this is fun if we can all share one or two in the process, because I think we all pull from very different places. I will start. My biggest influence always is Fiona Apple, top #1. But all those women from the 90s, PJ Harvey, Tori Amos, Bjork, Their songwriting is so inventive. And also, I don't know, we pull from so much stuff. I'm gonna like jump off the cliff. I'm gonna say Radiohead. We've been debating, this has become a bit in the band because Claire doesn't listen ever to Radiohead, but I feel like the rest of us are really influenced by the music, which is kind of funny. And I think that speaks to all of our different backgrounds. But yeah, do you want to go?
Yeah, I would definitely say kind of an homage to David Bowie. I feel like it's, especially in the saxophone parts, it's kind of more off center, and I feel like a lot of his stuff that he's done, and also like Steely Dan's saxophonist, especially like Phil Woods, love him. But yet more of like just like saxophone influences in rock music. I think it's really easy to kind of do like the straight ahead, like Bobby Keys on the Rolling Stones kind of stuff, but I think we wanted to have kind of a different approach to it, a little bit more quirky and strange. So I would say David Bowie.
They're not going to agree with me. But I try and sneak in as many like polyrhythms as like possible without them being like this. No cursing.
No
This
cursing.
sucks. this stinks. Like this, what are we even doing? And I learned a lot of that. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of like crazy fusion music that like has that in there. Like if I'm listening to Mahavishnu Orchestra, I'm like, well, I got to sit down for this. Like this is really intense. But like, I loved what King Gizzard's doing, and like it's so digestible that like people have no idea that they're like rocking out in 13 or like For Odd Times, or like this is, oh my god, they're playing one of the songs was in 7, but so 3 people are playing quintuplets. It's just like, no, I don't know if the crowd is gonna get. I think it sounds good, but like, but some of the people in the crowd would like it, and if it sounds good, then people who don't know what's going on is just gonna like it. So it's like, I feel like it keeps us on our toes of what we're doing, so we're like not on autopilot. But yeah, I would say King Giz, because it's just like they're very like here's all this weird stuff, but like you can actually like eat it down. It's a nice palate, good taste, digested. And whatever happens after that. But yeah, so I'd say them. Yeah, it grooves. It feels good. So
I think for me, it really varies song by song. I feel like we have such an eclectic range. I guess for me, I sort of, there's like the more sort of like songwritery, more groove-based songs, and I feel like I reference like James Jamerson or Nathan Watts for Stevie Wonder. And then there's the more rockin' songs, which I think more of like Cliff Burton from Metallica or Chris Squire from Yes are some of my guys. Yeah.
Paramore. Next.
For me, I think Kelsey Liu, who's a really amazing cellist, and especially when I'm writing parts for recording and just stacking up a bunch of different string parts. Her music is a big inspiration for me.
Cool, very diverse inspirations. Do you guys clash a lot, songwriting?
Not as much as you'd think. We actually kind of have like one hive mind when we write. It's just like we each somebody starts with something and then we do it, and then somebody goes, what if we did this? And it's like there's just like no ego. There's not really that much clashing.
We all have one brain.
Yeah.
It's true.
Did it take a while to create the hive mind, or was it pretty immediate?
I think it took as long as it's been to get to now, but I will say from the moment I met Fran, we were like,
Love you.
love you too, having the same thoughts at the same time. And I think it was that led me to kind of trust. I have some trust problems, no surprise there. And it led me to trust everyone else in this band with my work, especially because we
kind of grew into all the songs by playing them live. So we're a live band, definitely at heart, and we could grow into them by trying stuff live, or like maybe Jonathan will hear the tiniest rhythm that I'm playing, and then now that becomes like a thing we're all playing together, and I think that's really cool. And that did come with us just being able to play live a lot and see what comes out of it. But I do think the Hive Mind has grown, particularly since tour. That was beautiful. Yeah.
Sick. And you guys just got back from tour.
Yeah.
How did the new songs feel live?
Amazing. I think we were all like, okay, we're going to do this first proper tour. We're going to see how it goes. If we want to die at the end, we'll reevaluate our strategy. But wow, I wish I was still on the road. It was just amazing to have a show every single night with a new audience who had no idea what to expect, and just meet all these great people and see all these cool places. And I think we were pretty well received. And I think
I'd say so.
people were surprised, which is my favorite reaction. Because I think people see, like you kind of alluded to, like, Partygirl from New York City. I feel like they expect one thing, and then we will give them a bunch of random stuff that works together really well. And I loved tour. I don't know if anyone else has anything else to add.
Tour was fun.
Loved it.
Diva.
Slay.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be such a live band in today's music industry where so much of it is online?
Hard.
In one word, very difficult. We're not really a band and whose music is set up for success, given the industry, how it is now. But I don't think you could ever replace the experience of a concert. I don't think you can ever take that away from people. And I think that we are lucky to really prioritize making a space that feels special for people, and definitely for us. And the most beautiful thing in the world for me is like that moment when you can see it happening and you can feel like you and the audience are in this together. And that's what it's all about, really. And of course the industry is not going to put that forward, because I think you can't commodify that. And the way music is also marketed today with like the algorithms and the data mining, like you can't capture
Like a live experience, because it's about being like present in the moment, and it's between like relationships of people and
Yeah.
like spatially, sonically, etc.
Yeah. And so it's hard, because it's hard to, we've been trying to get industry people to our shows, and that's difficult because we don't have any music out. And like from basic things like that to, I feel like I love our record, obviously. I think it's perfect and beautiful, but it will never capture what we're able to do live. Even if we're like, sometimes we mess up live or whatever, but that's part of the whole experience. And the energy. And I think that it's also hard because then, like I said, we want to be touring all the time. Who has the cash to tour all the time? Or like the time off to do that. Like we don't have that ability. And that's also frustrating, because I'll say I get jealous of the bands I see that are touring all the time. And that's okay. I think that it's good to know what our goals are for our music and where we really thrive. So, yeah. Any other?
Do you guys have a favorite city you hit on tour?
Charlottesville, Virginia.
In specific, Dirty Nelly's.
Love that bar.
That is
Everybody
the best
should
bar
take their
I have
patronage
ever
there.
been to. I had the best night of my life. That is all.
It's so funny because Claire's from Charlottesville. And
Shout out.
And so we were excited to play it because we try to hit like everyone's
Like
cities,
hometown shows.
so people's family can come see us. And so we booked this like random, like literally a dive bar in Charlottesville that sometimes has live music. Like they don't even have a sound person.
Andrew was our sound person.
Andrew ran
Shout out
sound.
Andrew.
Yeah.
And we were on tour with our friends, a New York band, Panic Flower, who are amazing. Check them out. And we were just like, this is going to be fun. Like, you don't really get paid. There's no tickets. It's a free show. You just get like free drinks and food all night. We're like, we're just going to have a blast with ourselves. And then it just ended up being the most, like, the crowd was there with us. They were present. They were dancing. It was a bunch of old heads. It was awesome. It was like the UVA homecoming game, so the bar was packed with people watching.
Well, because it was also they had a
Sports.
rain.
Oh, yeah, there was a rain delay.
So all of the people from the game who didn't want to stay at the rain delay just came to that bar.
Yeah, so it was like packed with people, and they loved it.
And we loved them.
And we loved them. We did, and we loved playing it, and we just had so much fun, and we made some friends and some fans, and it was really special. Like, you don't go to places like that in New York City. I don't think they can really exist there, where like it's just like a random group of people in a bar one night, and like you're gonna see this random band play, and it just felt really special. I loved it. We had a blast.
I also really liked Richmond too. Virginia really showed out.
Yeah, true. I loved Asbury Park.
Oh my god, yes.
We played Wonder Bar, which was like amazing. The sound system was like epic. It was the best sound system I think we've ever played on, and it really changed our experience because I feel like we could really lean into everything we're trying to do that maybe we don't have the ability to do in some of the smaller places we play. And it was just, you could see the beach. My parents surprised me and showed up, which was really sweet. It was really awesome.
I also really like Boston. We played in this movie theater, and there was like these guys doing these visuals on like projected onto the screen behind us. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was a cool venue. Yeah.
You were talking about that bar, like that place couldn't exist in New York. Now, having played all over the East Coast, has it changed your perspective on the New York scene?
That's a really good question. The New York scene's tough because it's so big. There's not one center, which is beautiful in lots of ways because you get to meet all sorts of people, and like there's so many different bands, and it's so professionalized here too that it's not in other places, which is really great if you're as anxiety ridden as this band is. and you know, type A or whatever. But I think that when you go, that also has the downside of there's a lot of competition, and there's a lot of the commodification that we're talking about. And
well, because it is an industry city.
It is an industry city. And I think that's kind of more of how I was able to reflect on the scene. And there's like all these articles coming about like the New York rock scene is back, like, and everyone's trying to claim
indie sleaze.
This. I have lots of thoughts. I don't know if I want them
on
the record. I think everyone's trying to claim this for themselves. Unfortunately for them, New York rock never went away. It's always been here. You know, I went to college here with Claire. I played in a band, like in 2017, whatever. And that's okay. Like, everyone's trying to do their narrative thing. I would say, though, the best bands in this city are not the ones that are really being elevated as such. And like I said, Panic Flower we were on tour with, really great, dreamy shoegaze, incredible. Our buddies Rat Palace, who we're hopefully going on tour with. Like, people are doing really cool stuff. And you have to kind of find it. And in other cities, I think, because people are more friends, and it seemed easier to do that. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know if anyone has thoughts on that.
I mean, it was just cool hearing different like genres, I guess, that different cities have. Like,
yeah, that's so true.
I mean, of course, there's like a bunch of different kinds of like music happening here. but I know that post punk is like super popular right now, and it was really nice to like hear other stuff outside of it, like in different cities. Like in Richmond, it was like I don't want to say neo soul-y, but it was just like a little bit more jazzy, like some of the stuff that they were playing, and or just like more punk, like emo stuff that was happening like in like New Haven, right?
Yes.
That was like super tight. So it was just that was, it made me like appreciate New York in like a way where it's like, oh, there is like a specific kind of sound happening here, and that's super cool. And but like there's still other stuff you can like see and go to. But yeah, I think I've lost my train of thought at that point.
But I want to finish that thought because it's interesting because each city obviously has like a genre that's the center, and this is how the scene is constructed. New York's so big, so there's a few, but still like I feel like post-punk and hardcore largely in Brooklyn, and then you have like the Strokes thing. End of thought. That's happening in Lower Manhattan. And it's really interesting because we don't really fit.
In that
we
kind
definitely
of
do
rock.
not fit into either of those categories. And so it was interesting to go to other cities and be like received in different ways by different people. And like, that was cool. Like, I think Virginia loved us so much because it was like rock music is the thing here. And that was really fun. But yeah, those are all my thoughts, I think.
Yeah.
It's cool being that you guys are such a live band and making the type of music that you do. I feel like you could fit on so many different bills and play with all different types of bands.
Yeah, and we do try to do that. Or we have tried to do that. I think that's really cool because we've met all sorts of people, and I think that's fun. I do think like some advice we received as we do this rollout, they were like, you need to start playing with people who will really get you guys. And so I don't know how to square that circle, you know, because it's also like it's hard. I don't like genre is like such a hard and limiting thing. And also, I don't know. I think we're very British. Like it's not
have a lot of British rock
like I feel
influences,
like though, like when I think of bands that we could play with, even smaller bands that like I come across online, that fits this category of like you're kind of going to replicate a similar genre. I earnestly have a hard time, and this has been a fun exercise we've been doing to try to find that sonic community, not like a relational interpersonal community, which we definitely have, but it's tough because that's so true. And I also think in a way it has injured our career trajectory, that people don't know what to do with us, and we've been told that a lot of times.
It's just rock music, guys. It's really not that hard.
As I say, I'm like, it's just rock.
It's just 13 over
but it's okay.
5. You got this.
What do you want fans to take away from your new album?
That was funny. Part of me wants to like be like, I hope people know if they're going through something and they hear this music that like we got them, like we've been there. The music is like very vulnerable for me, and it really describes like a world crashing down on my head, but also I think everyone goes through it. It's like a coming of age album, you know. You're trying to figure out things. It was written a lot during COVID for me when I was like 22 or 23. And I think that it just is adding to this canon of, you know, coming of age, right? So I hope that people listen and they know, like I said, like we've all been there. It's okay if you feel a little crazy sometimes. Like we all feel a little crazy sometimes, and I think that's fine. And people will try to tell you that's not okay or there's something like wrong with you. There's nothing wrong. You're just reacting. And I think that I hope that it's like a hand that can hold. But also, if people, some of the songs are more furious, and if you want that to be the reaction, like that's cool too. And I think that's fair. And I hope that we can provide that. Like so many of my favorite artists were able to do that for me and try to like help explain a world, and in particular a gendered experience that you're receiving. Like I know Fiona Apple has done that for me. I know Tori Amos has done that for me. and I want to continue in this tradition. And I would be very lucky to do that. I think we would be very lucky to do that. But at the same time, I don't think like the most important thing about music is relating personally. Like I think there's like this thing that people are like highlighting like particular identities as part of marketing, and you can only relate to music based on these categories. And I don't think that's true, and I don't want to put us in that box like we were talking earlier. If we're going to talk about like, we are a feminist band, but I don't want to talk about that like exclusively. It is extremely important, and it is important to the ethos of the songs always, and the arguments we are explicitly making and the politics we have. But I also think that I hope that people will also just enjoy the music, like literally like the sounds that we are playing out of our instruments, which I do think is lost a bit in today's whole world. Like we're having fun playing this music and it's moving us, and I hope that people can take away that too. It is an art form. Not to be annoying, but it is. And I think that we really focus on that, like Jonathan was saying, with the time signatures, and like Claire with her multi-orchestral parts, and
I
how
want somebody to have a hard
things-
time trying to figure it out by ear. That's like
No tabs available.
no tabs available. It's honestly not too difficult, but it's
not too
still
difficult.
like it is a dream.
It definitely scratches like my jazz brain,
Yeah.
which is awesome. Like all the polyrhythms and stuff. I feel like often in rock music, I don't feel like I have to like focus really hard, but this band, I always have to lock in.
No, that's fair. I definitely do that with my melodies, and they get kind of annoyed with me when I'm like, they're like, you don't have to sing like that all the time. And I'm like, no, I do have to. I have to hit the highest note I can possibly hit and do the craziest delivery possible. Mostly because it's fun. You know, I get bored very easily. I think we're actually all people who get bored very easily. And so I think that's reflected in the music. And I hope no fan is ever bored listening to our music too. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. This is WNYU 89.1 FM. This has been Partygirl. Thank you.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.